Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the GTI. It is a couple of days before New Year's, and we're expecting about 6 to 8 inches of snow here in Central Mass today, so I thought that I would get this out of the way. This is the 7 things I love about my GTI. I'm at exactly 466 miles now, so I thought that this would be a great time to put out this video. Now, my last video that I did, similar to this with the Cayman, I actually did them back to back. The 5 things that I love, the 5 things that I hate. Actually, today I'm not going to do that with the GTI. I'm just going to do this one now, and then the one, I'll probably call it 7 things that I dislike, not really hate about the GTI, because I've really only come up with 5 things so far, so I can't really shoot these back to back. Plus, I'm heading into the office now, so I don't have enough time. But, okay, let's start. Okay, number 1 would have to be the seats. This is where I am all the time when I'm sitting in the GTI. Very, very similar to my Mark 6 GTI seats. They're the same plaid seats. You know, as far as the fabric covers, that's one thing that I wanted with the GTI. I didn't want to go leather. You know, with the bolsters and everything. I mean, these are, even the ones in my 2010, my Mark 6 GTI, were much better than the ones that came with the Cayman that I had before this, so, which was surprising. I mean, here's an MSRP $60,000 Cayman, and the MSRP $27,000 Mark 6 GTI that I had before had better seats in it. But anyways, they're the same. I love them. They're just a bit wider than my Mark 6s that I noticed. I guess because, you know, American asses are getting bigger, so I guess they wanted to increase the seat a little bit. So, and they are heated. And this one, unlike my Mark 6, actually has an electronic angle adjusting. So that's nice. So you can just come down here and just adjust the angle electronically without having to fiddle with a lever. So that's number 1. Number 2 would have to be the steering wheel. And it's funny because, you know, very similar, just a little different than the Mark 6 GTI, especially all the, you know, all the multiple controls here is different in the rounded center. But as far as the outside with the flat bottom, I've always loved it. Again, I go back to the Cayman that I had just before this, and again, you're talking about a $60,000 MSRP car, and that steering wheel was wide, it was skinny. It felt like you were driving a car from back in the 1930s with that steering wheel in there. So, so that's number 2, the steering wheel. Number 3. Now, number 3 would probably have to be the totally keyless operation of the car. From the stop engine button to the doors. You don't even need to take the key fob out. All you have to do is just grab the handle to unlock it, and when you want to lock it, you just press your thumb or any other finger to the outside of the handle, and it locks it. And this even works if you have gloves on, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I don't know how it knows that. Probably it's just a proximity sensor rather than anything like an actual touch sensitive area. So that was number 3. Number 4. Number 4 would have to be the engine, and I'll put engine and transmission together. The transmission, the dual clutch transmission, is just awesome. Volkswagen's DSG transmission has just been great. I've had these. This is my 3rd GTI with the dual clutch transmission, coming from a guy that's been a lifelong manual transmission person. Test drove a 2009, no, I just happened to be in a 2009, this was back in 2009, just happened to be in a 2009 Audi TT with a DSG. Blew me away, so immediately, like a month later, I went out and bought a 2007 GTI, used, obviously, with the DSG. That was my first one. Fell in love with it. My Mark 6 is a DSG, this one's a DSG. Can't say enough about it. The 3rd generation 2-liter turbo engine that's in the Mark 7s is so much better than the last one, specifically when it comes to tuning. This specific car with a performance pack, you know, it brings the horsepower up to 220, which on my Mark 6 it was 200 even. So there's 20 more horsepower there, but when it comes to tuning, it is so much better with tuning. You can get so much more horsepower out of it. I'll go over that a little bit later, maybe in a couple of months or so when I decide where I'm going. You know, all in all, great package between the engine and the transmission. So let's see, on to number 5. Number 5 will have to be the infotainment system here, along with the front screen. Now both of them, you know, they work together. The front screen is a lot better than in my Mark 6 GTI. The Mark 6 GTI, the front screen right in front of me here was just white, you know, just a white LED. And now it's full color, has much more information as far as, you know, different road settings, different mode settings, so many other different things show up on it. So much more useful. The infotainment center, this screen is a lot better than the Mark 6. The contrast in the what am I looking for? The color density, the resolution. That's what I was looking for. Is so much better than the last one. The interface is better. But what I love about it specifically is the integration of Apple CarPlay. I just toss my iPhone in here. I have a Pro Clip iPhone holder here, and it has the lightning cord in there already. So I just throw it in. Apple CarPlay automatically comes up, and there's all the apps that I use on a regular basis, between music, between the podcast app that I listen to, navigation, because now you can get a car without navigation, and now it has navigation in it with Apple Maps. So that's awesome. The touchscreen is very responsive. The buttons on either side, it's very responsive. So that is number 5. Number 6 would have to be the backup camera. This is my first car ever that I've ever owned with a backup camera. I've been in a few cars before with backup cameras, like when I worked over at the Infiniti dealership, and I was in charge of putting all the pre-owned cars up online, and also in charge of the website. Of course, all the Infinitis had rear view cameras. That was very easy to park the cars. So I actually didn't even realize that this had a backup camera in it. I wasn't aware that it was part of the Sport package. The night that I picked it up, it was rainy. It was the last day of the month, so they were massively busy. So I probably only spent like 5 minutes on the inside with the salesperson. So we didn't hit that. So the moment I threw it in reverse and it popped up here, it kind of shocked me. But it works so well. What's also nice is the camera, or the lens, is, I think it's even greater than 180 degrees. So even if you're parked between two cameras, if you park between two cars, when it comes up and you just pull out just a little bit, you can actually kind of see around those cars, which is very, very handy. So that's number 6. Number 7 would have to be headlights. Finally back to xenon headlights on this GTI. I had them on my Mark 5. On my Mark 6, I only had halogen, so that's just the way that car came. But very happy with them. The visibility is great, as well as, and I think I demonstrated this on my last video, I think, as far as the they follow where your steering goes, which is very handy, especially on a lot of roads here in central Massachusetts that don't have very good lighting. It's great to start to see around corners as you turn, as well as the daytime running lights are actually, you know, they're very cool when they're running around all day long with those daytime running lights. You know, they look kind of like eyes. You know, they're a pretty cool look. So all right, well, that's the 7 things that I love about my GTI, my Mark 7 GTI. I will work more trying to find some more things that I'm not going to say hate. My next video is not going to be 7 things I hate about my GTI. It's going to be 7 things I dislike about my GTI, because there really isn't anything that I hate about it. It's just the reason why this is my 3rd GTI, and you know, I love him so much. It's really hard to find something that I hate about him. So so stay tuned for that one. And thanks for watching. Subscribe and like. And I'll talk with you soon. Thanks.